It totally sucks. Where I'm like, I was just doing, and this showed up like once. It showed up once and it showed twice. I'm like, okay, fine. Let me see what in the world you're doing here with the Dino Thunder having a Green Ranger, which he never existed. So here we are, basically explaining things. I'm gonna watch. I already watched bits of it, and it made me mad to the point where I'm like, it made me just upset to the point where it's like, okay, well, I'm going to have to do something then about this. So I have brought what people these days call receipts, and just things of where I'm like, dude, were you watching Power Rangers? The two seasons that he already talked about that I watched, well, he's talking about it. The ones it's like, dude, I already talked about those, and it sucks. And it's like, well, look at him. He get 47,000 views. It's like, oh, that's good for you, dude. That's good for you. Anyways, we're gonna watch it together, and I'm going to have to insert because he's gonna do a lot of stupid stuff. No offense. It's like he just had to do this one simple thing. It's like as soon as he just did this one of them, I was like, "Are you stupid?" Because I even it's like just look what I have over here. Let me show you something I did 7 years ago. Power Rangers Super Ninja Steel preview review. I like the idea of I like to tease the idea of the Green Ranger coming. There is no proof, but spoilers most likely says no. Still fun to do. And this guy is about to talk about the Green Ranger, which you see right here. You see right there in that thumbnail? Look, what that is that green? Yes, it's green. So, anyways, we're gonna see what he's talking about, but I'm gonna show you exactly what I was thinking 7 years ago, apparently. My goodness, 7 years ago. Thank you, Geico, for being a stupid moron, too. Yeah, thank you, Geico. Stupid moron, thank you. Get out of the way. I think I'm gonna have to do something right quick, which is let him speak. Oh, I don't even have a speaker on this. Sorry, folks. Hmm. I guess I don't let him get to talk. hold on. I'm gonna have to fix this right quick because I think you need to hear him talk. At least allow him to defend himself in quotations. He does need to talk. So give me 1 second. Right, there we go. And I would like it to be in speakers. Yeah, there we go. All right, that should do it. So at least he gets to talk. So I'll stop, let him talk. Start from the beginning. Let's see if it's good enough so we can start and let him actually talk. Hmm. I don't think he actually gets to talk. 1 second, folks. It's like 1 second. I'm gonna have to figure this out right quick because he's not being able to talk because it's muted. It's like, yep, so it's muted and what are we doing here? It's like cool, watch method capture, cool audio, capture audio beta form. Hmm. But that took it away. That's not good. Like, yeah, there we go. So then I need to make one extra one because apparently we got to do the beta form of it. Okay, so yeah, we're gonna do the beta form of it. Okay, cool. There we go. And then capture in audio. There we go. Hmm. I see something. Okay, number 8 is the one. Oh, okay. So that's what's going on. All right. So there we go. Now we're good. Okay. Let's redo it one more time. Then we'll let him speak and defend himself.
In Power Rangers, one suit color that has become truly iconic is green. It all started with Tommy Oliver taking on that mantle. But over the years, as new seasons arrived, many other Green Rangers were introduced. The problem is that there are some seasons that don't have a Green Ranger at all. And to me, that's simply unacceptable. But did you know that in Ninja Steel, there was supposed to be a green ninja? That's because in Super Sentai, this representation actually existed at a specific point. Unfortunately, even though it was part of the original source material, it was never adapted for the Western audience. In Power Rangers Ninja Steel 2017, we start with the 5 core Rangers: red, blue, white, pink, and yellow. Later on, we're introduced to Levi Weston, who becomes the Gold Ranger and joins the team as the 6th member. However, in the original Super Sentai version, there's an even more intriguing figure who appears afterward: Luna, also known as Mido Ninninger. This character represents one of the most fascinating cases of a ranger that was never adapted into the American Power Rangers universe. Her story is filled with mystery, possession, and temporary heroism, adding depth and complexity to the narrative.
And we stop right there. We stop right there because now I have to talk about what I talked about apparently 7 years ago. Good Lord. So, could they have actually have brought her into the story? Yes. But we have Cat Lady and Owljet, which basically was Cat Lady and Owl Boy. These two couldn't really write. This was their second year of being head writers because they were actually interns. And everyone ditched after Dino Charge. All the writers ditched, all was left was just those two. Congratulations, interns, you're now the head writers. Congratulations. Y'all should have left too. Y'all should have left too. They didn't leave, and thus we had to deal with them. So basically, when I talked about, remember the when I talked about I did 7 years ago? So apparently that episode is called Tech Support, which tech support actually gave us a girl named Emma Harris. And what was Emma Harris doing? What was she in there? What was it? Well, it looks like her arsenal is Emma used her practice sword to swing at the caboose. What you talking about now? It's like, yeah, and here's the notes is that Emma served as a temporary technical advisor to the Power Rangers similar to Benny Crescent Zeo, and is officially designated as her the official computer ninja. Yes. And serves the name as Ninja Omega Force, and apparently her presence is blah blah blah. Like, yeah, Texas board. So basically, in this one, there was a new student that went to their school named Emma Harris. She actually got lessons, karate lessons apparently, but this is not really karate lessons. I would just say sword lessons or kendo lessons. I don't know what you want to call it, but either so, she was introduced out of nowhere. She helped the Power Rangers. I would have actually have stepped forward and said the following of you could have adapted this special he was talking here in that episode. That's what I was talking about in this video 7 years ago. The fact of where was it? Yeah, here it is. I like I like to tease the idea of the Green Ranger coming, but there is no proof. Plus spoilers, most likely says no, but it's fun to do. They should have done it, blah 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 blah. Emma Harris could have been the Green Ranger. And guess what I could have had? The figure. More important is like, give me the damn figure. The figure was never released in Japan. They don't do it for one-off characters, but America do. So I'm like, yeah, I get to have this one. I get to have. I'm like, I don't care about Emma. I care about the freaking Green Ranger figure because she was in there. I was like, oh, at least when it came to being 2 years, at least this will be the only good news about it besides the bad news of they created, you know, the freaking Blaze Megazord crap. You get part two in a moment, but I just wanted to just say that she could have been done because we got Emma Harris here. She was just basically what people call a red herring, even though it's like, yeah, for people who don't see Super Sentai, you most likely would have never actually have known she would be something, that she could have been something. Yeah. Anyways, keep going. What do you want to say?
narrative. Luna Kokonoe is a sweet, cheerful, and energetic young girl. Her journey begins when she receives a green ninja shuriken from the Igasaki family and becomes part of the Ninin girls. The situation escalates when powerful enemies emerge. With access to the powers of Mido Ninninger, Luna is able to join forces with the heroes and play a crucial role.
Let me stop you right there. Did you see that one second? You see that? There's another thing reason why it's like, oh, this would have been good, even though technically they had Surfer Maru or the Sub Surfer Zord, and they never actually gave it a Zord. Never gave it a release. But we had,
Mido Ninninger.
well, if you notice there's one extra Megazord
Her journey
in this.
begins when she receives a green ninja shuriken from the Igasaki family and becomes part of the Ninin girls. The situation escalates when
There it is. We could have got Dino Maru if they would have adapted this episode. And I don't know, it's like, would they actually have added extra freaking, I'm like, they might have done like a few things, they might have done a few more things with the Green Ranger because it's not like the Green Ranger was really needed. But however, it would have been nice for Emma to have some powers, you know, that would have been kind of cool. Just like she was just an extra call away, but she's not really. Basically, she would be Kindle of of Ninja Steel because Kindle didn't really morph that much. But however, she has the ability if she needs to. Just like Emma should actually have had it just in case she needed to, which I forgot what happened with Emma, but still. That would have been cool. Because well now you had Bandai America in a crazy face be like, we make every Zord get this Mega Zord counterparts. Why? But to see this one, I'm like, oh, this would have been fun to actually see this one get made. Dino Mario, I would have bought this one, but they never showed it in this TV. They didn't show it in the TV show. They never adapted this, so that was the only way how we would have got Dino Maru because they didn't do anything else. So let them keep talking.
powerful enemies emerge. With access to the powers of Mido Ninninger, Luna is able to join forces with the heroes and play a crucial role in defeating the rival group. The biggest twist, however, lies in the true wielder of that power. It wasn't Luna who was actually controlling Mido Ninninger, but the spirit of Kyuamon Shingetsu Kibaoni. Using Luna's body as a vessel, this spirit guided Mido Ninninger's actions, blending ranger strength with the presence of a powerful external consciousness. This adds several layers of complexity to the character. Luna's sweet personality gives way to a cold, confident demeanor as she transforms into Mido Ninninger, displaying impressive mastery of ninjutsu and elemental powers such as fire, wind, and lightning. Using Mido Ninninger's abilities, Luna, together with Kyuamon's spirit, takes part in decisive moments, helping defeat a resurrected enemy that posed a massive threat to the ninja world. After completing its mission, the spirit leaves Luna's body and disappears, bringing her role in the story to an end. Even though Mido Ninninger.
Now let me explain why this wouldn't actually work. Is because they changed the character that was a spirit because it was basically what we know as Madam. I forgot her name, but yeah, that one, the one with the white face, which you'll see right now.
Only appeared in a movie, the character left a lasting impression, both because of the suit design and the narrative concept of a ranger possessed by a powerful spirit. Unfortunately,
That's it, Madam Odious. That's it. Yeah, they changed Madam Odious to something worse than what this one was, which the story of this one too, because I saw Ninja. I enjoyed Ninja. It sucks we didn't get the Gamma Gamma gun. They shouldn't actually have changed it. I enjoy that little guy. Gamma 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 Gamma, but no, they didn't even release that either. But yeah, Madame Odious actually has a different story. The fact that she was actually childhood friends to Brody's dad, if we actually would be like, we're making it kind of like Ninja. Yeah, so the Red Ranger's dad and White Ranger's dad, because they were brother and sister, was hanging out. Well, yeah, hanging out with this guy, and they were both being trained together. And then one day, this guy turned on him and stole all his. It wasn't Moji Karo, right? No, that was. Shikinger. Let's just say ninjetti powers or ninjetti flow or ninjetti energy. Either way, he absorbed all of his, and the dad never knew, and they just thought, "Oh, your dad became talentless out of nowhere." This poor child, and stopped teaching them freaking ninjutsu and just said, "Yeah, go study." But it was revealed like in episode 20 to 30, maybe even 30 to 40, that yeah, he got defeated. His dad actually was able to get his powers back and thus gave him the beautiful thing of turning to the Red Ranger with the silver sash. That was beautiful. Yeah, that was really beautiful. And then, of course, this guy actually learned the error of his ways, and I think he had a sadder story because he was half evil, but he got redemption, and then he came back as the Green Ranger for his final redemption to say that he's a good guy now, or she's a good guy now. I don't know. I think that's the messed up part where it's like, yeah, they definitely made sure it's like, well, at least they made her a girl because dude, he was a guy in the Japanese version. In Super Sentai, he was a guy. And I don't know. It got freaking messed up. But at least the good news is that it was a good season. Ninja should not have been touched. They should have just adapted Ninja and been done with it. But of course, you know how it is. Diversity, man. So, anyways, finish it. Finish
Fortunately,
their
this is something that was never brought over to the American version of Power Rangers.
You want to file free? Hit it.
You suck butt, TurboTax. TurboTax, you suck butt. You made me lose $300. And I paid you for losing $300. You suck. Suck.
Power Rangers Beast Morphers represents a modern phase of the franchise, deeply connected to technology, clean energy, and the relationship between humans, animals, and artificial intelligence. And this was another season that should have featured a Green Ranger, because Super Sentai already presented that version. Here's the thing. Set around Grid Battle Force, Power Rangers Beast Morphers explores the Morphin Grid as a scientific source of renewable energy, while also introducing threats born from the irresponsible use of that power, such as Evox. Even with a clearly established core trio and the later addition of the Gold Ranger and the Silver Ranger, the absence of a Green Ranger becomes hard to ignore. Power Rangers Beast Morphers is an adaptation of Tokume Sentai Go Busters, and in the original Japanese version, there was a movie that introduced
What are you doing? Why aren't you showing them Go Busters? You just showed them freaking Go Kaijas, and now you're showing KU Ranger or Q Ranger. I don't know how to say his name. Screw it. Okay, AKA Beast Dino Charge.
an alternate team. After Nick's death, he is taken to a place where he meets a mysterious figure who offers him a wish,
Oh, they just were doing that. Well, he still has no reason why he did that though, right? Yeah, he had no reason to do it.
since he was the 1 millionth person to die. Nick wishes that the Messiah accident had never happened, creating a new world where that disaster never occurred and where the main characters live completely different lives. However, a new threat to Earth eventually emerges, prompting an organization to create a team based on animals to protect the planet. Unlike their original counterparts, these Rangers follow an animal theme instead of a spy motif, and the overall tone is much more comedic. Because of that, new heroes are introduced, such as Green Hippopotamus, Black Puma, and Pink Cat. They eventually disappear when both teams unite to defeat the enemy threatening them.
Okay, so now we get to this part where it's like, oh, so we got the Green Ranger and we got the Black Ranger. So sadly, I didn't pull up the other thing because I was stupid moron. So forgive me on that one. Let me just check to make sure I'm doing good. Good. All right. So then we don't really need this anymore. So let me try to look for Beast Morphers and see if, let me see if I can actually find it. So yeah, I was getting very, ready for this, but I really wasn't getting ready for it because see. Okay, so then I just need to find that one exactly. If I can find that only one exactly, I could be good. Because it's like I was trying to make sure I can get there. Okay, so let's see. I think these are just the toys. Yeah, it's just the toys. Trying to get there. Just give me a minute. I'm trying to get there. It's like I think I can't find it. Yeah. But I would just say this because I didn't have the one that was really good. There we go. There we go. But that's not it. Yeah, I think this one is kind of it, but not truly. Anyways, besides this, which we can get rid of this, and we can get rid of this. When it comes to the whole bouncing around of the Green Ranger and Black Ranger of um, Beast Morphers, I would figure it would have been either Ben and Betty, which everyone remembers Ben and Betty, right? Ben and Betty, which, yeah, you look at him, he could actually be the Green Ranger, she could be the Black Ranger. Yeah. But of course, there's another one that I actually wanted to talk about too, which I forgot until now, which was Roxy and Devon getting, not Devon, Roxy and my Nick, was his name Nick? Getting redemption because they did actually have somewhat powers bestowed upon them, but not really. But they were candidates. And I'm like, Roxy usually is not near the Blue Ranger that much. And we don't really see Nick that well either. So, what exactly am I leading towards? I'm leaning towards that the Green Ranger and the Black Ranger were secret operatives of Battle Grid. That they went across the world that the Rangers didn't go to, like America and everything else, because they had other towers, which I think is not Energene anymore. Is something else. I forgot what the liquid was. But the idea was simple, where it's like those two secretly went on missions and actually were defeating lots of monsters with no one knowing. Nick's like, oh, I was doing something and I was training people. And then you have Roxy, who doesn't really show up that often. You would figure if you're in a relationship, she would most likely be at least with you once in a while, more than what was going on. So I was like, yeah, she was secretly sneaking. She was sneaking, morphing into the freaking Black Ranger, going over there. Actually, no, she would be the Green Ranger, which the Green Ranger would not be the hippopotamus, which I guess they could do it still. But the thing is that, well, she did have the bunny and she was the evil bunny, while, of course, Devon got to become, not Devon, Nick got to become a tiger, a cat in some way, shape, or form. So why not allow him to be a cat again? I guess it was a puma. So yeah, he'll be the puma, and she'll be, I wouldn't say the hippopotamus, but I'm cool with you just giving me the Green Ranger no matter what. I don't care if, you change the outfit or anything. It's like she'll just be like freaking Trini. Or, the Lost Galaxy Yellow Ranger. She'll just not have a skirt. I'm cool with that. I'm cool with that. And just have them across. It's like, yeah, the thing is like you won't really know, but Boom Comics could have took this. And that's what I was hoping for. It's like Boom Comics, come on, dude. Come on, dude. Come on, dude. Come on, dude. Boom Comics, come on. And it's like Boom Comics never did it. They never realized it. And it's just basically an idea that can so work, but no one realized it could actually work, which is like, dang. The only other one to talk about is just going by what happened in the Super Sentai, which was the leader became the Black Ranger, which of course Devin's dad is Adam Daniels. And if you notice at the end of the first part of Beast Morphers, he actually got infected by some energy, which I'm like, ah, so he actually got some of that energy, and now he can actually become a ranger himself. But no. What? But no. No, it wasn't that. And I'm like, oh man. I know, right? Man. Could be either that or it could have been the Blue Ranger's dad. I'm sorry, the Blue Ranger's mom, which I'm like, that could work. But still, who would be the Green Ranger? I'm like, I don't know. It'll be some person who sucks at his job. Either way, I was hoping it would just be like Nick and Roxy, which don't sue me if I don't remember his name correctly. Oh, his name is Blaze. Dang, his name was Blaze. Blaze and Roxy. Sorry. And then after that was Ben and Betty, and then after that maybe there's some rando, and of course the commander or the mayor as the Black Ranger. But sadly, they didn't get to exist because what's we have the writers, man. The writers don't know anything. Sadly, the writers don't do their homework, and they didn't really need to. Which is like, yeah, I understand they didn't need to, but if they would have actually just looked and just noticed, they could have actually have done something. And Bandai America got more money because they had to make the Black Ranger figure and the Green Ranger figures. And you know what I say? Give me my figures. I want my figures. Where are my figures?
Considering that Power Rangers is a franchise built around a vast multiverse, this would have been a perfect opportunity to integrate this squad into the main storyline. The problem is that Green Hippopotamus meets a tragic fate as he is killed in battle, taking his final breath in the arms of the Red Ranger. But it doesn't stop there, because there's yet another Power Ranger season that should have had a Green Ranger, and unfortunately didn't. Power Rangers Megaforce premiered in the United States in February.
Now, as for this one, now as for this one that we're talking about, this one is the one that I definitely wrote. I wrote a different version, which could have actually have gotten us the Green Ranger. I wonder. Yep, there it is. Retelling Mystic Force. Yep, teenagers with attitude and everything. The only difference is what I basically just be funny and stupid about is just saying it ripped off Digimon season 4. It rips off Digimon season 4, okay? The only difference is that um Koigi would be the main focus. But anyways, yeah, for Mystic Force, what they did, I don't think you can have the Green Ranger in this. I'm sorry to tell you this. And even when you think about it, it's like those Sagers didn't even think about this either. Because if Ghost Sagers was thinking, then basically Ghost Sagers would actually take the Blue Ranger's blaster and make it half blue, half green. Thus, signifying the reason why that works out versus wait, hold on. The blasters work. Are you gonna say that the Green Ranger's blaster is the same as the Blue Ranger's blaster and it just adds extra? So are you saying that it could have been better if it had the Green Ranger's blaster in there? I would just again say you should have just had two. Make him like two shooters or one green, one blue. So at least you have like a signification of versus how does it fit to the Mega Blaster?
February 2013. The team we were introduced to was made up of 5 Rangers with the following colors: red, blue, pink, black, and yellow. Later on, we also meet Robo Knight. The issue is that in the original Japanese season that Power Rangers Megaforce was adapted from, we're introduced to the Gosei Green Ranger, a character who never appeared in the American series. Magus, the Gosei Green, is one of the most enigmatic and memorable characters of his Super Sentai season.
Meet Carla, the always feeding everyone abuelita.
You suck.
Many heroes who remain throughout the entire series, Magus has a short-lived but deeply impactful story, marked by courage, friendship, and sacrifice. He is one of Earth's guardian angels, with abilities tied to marine life and, more specifically, a connection to the life force represented by the dolphin. Before officially joining the team, Magus formed a strong bond with Hyde, the Blue Ranger. This relationship went far beyond battlefield teamwork. It was a bond built on trust and understanding, with each one supporting the other through adversity. The most defining moment of his journey takes place during a battle against an alien who served the evil Warstar army. In a dramatic and unavoidable moment, he confronted the enemy atop a cliff, and in an attempt to end the threat once and for all, Magus leapt off the precipice while holding on to the alien. Magus did not survive the fall. His final scene is incredibly emotional as he takes his last breaths in the arms of his friend Hyde, who was left deeply shaken by the loss. Now let's get into an even more frustrating point.
And now we stop right quick. Now we stop right quick. So the other only other question is like, hey, they're able to make the Megazord, right? Because if there was supposed to be six of them, how come the Megazord works perfectly fine? I'm like, yeah. When it comes to the whole, they made it so that Heidel, aka the Blue Ranger for Ghost Sagers, had like a deeper feeling of why he's so, reserved and such a loner. That's good and all, but if you really think about it, it's like, yeah, but it doesn't make sense if it's like, I guess the Megazord, I don't know, the Megazord and the blaster that they put together, it doesn't make sense if it's like, yeah, it's supposed to be six Rangers. Like the blaster, maybe, because there's supposed to be an extra thing. But for the six Ranger on the Megazord, it doesn't really help, does it? It always equals to be like, oh, so they're actually working with less power than they could have. Yeah, so I would just say that having the Green Ranger there was nice for the Blue Ranger, but as a whole, it wasn't a smart thing. I'm just saying. And again, for Megaforce, you wouldn't be able to do it anyways because it wouldn't make any sense. They could do the usual thing of where it's like, well, they could actually make the sacrifice and they could actually do the whole thing that happened with Kendrix. The fact that he sacrificed his morpher to save the Blue Ranger from save Noah from some messed up disaster, and it's like, yeah, but it doesn't really make sense. I would just say that perhaps maybe Gosei was like, I have a secret mission. I need to do something. And he sent Gosei Green. He sent the Green Ranger for Megaforce, and he perished. And that's the key that he doesn't have no more. That key got destroyed or something. There you go. The end.
About the color green on certain teams, because there are Ranger teams that truly do not have a Green Ranger at all. Not in the West with Power Rangers, and not even in the East with Super Sentai. To make things worse, the team I'm about to mention actually does have green colored Zords, but no Ranger ever wears a green suit. Yes, I'm talking about a season that I personally find a lot of fun, Wild Force. This season premiered in 2002 and features one of the coolest.
Dude, do not start. It's like, okay, now I'm pulling something out of my freaking butt. Wild Force is like, please don't stop. Okay, just stop. Okay, stop. Stop. It's like, really? So he's now making up Rangers. He's now making up scenarios of being like, oh, well, there should have been one here. It's like, so the Red Ranger should get pushed to the side and just be on the ground while the Green Ranger takes care of the business. That sucks, dude. That sucks. But for Wild Force, I'll just tell you one thing. Wild Force to have a bunch of Rangers for every single freaking jewel, freaking Wild Force crystal or Wild Force animal, Wild Force Zord, it would be insane. And you think that freaking Dino Charge was something. It would have been insane. You praise just even Dino Charge. It would have like Dino Charge, Dino Thunder. Almost everyone who has lots of Zords. It's like, dude, you're asking for too much. I would say even when it comes to the Rhino and the Armadillo, that would just be one Ranger on itself. It's like, yeah, it's like people are allowed to have many jewels because it'd be like, oh, well, then that means the freaking Lunar Wolf Ranger should actually have had another dude with a crocodile and another dude that's a hammerhead. It should have been three evil Rangers versus one. Three who actually became freaking Zanaku and Tanaku and Rinaku. you just pulling stuff, man. But it's like, yeah, but think of the concept of having the Green Ranger in Wild Force. It's like, no. You'll be freaking causing too much harm, dude. There's a point where it's like, dude, you're getting ready to be like in the final episode, the freaking Green Ranger will die. Or he loses powers completely. Everyone lost his powers, but sadly, when they get their powers back, the Green Ranger still lost his powers. No, please don't make him a freaking Tommy. Please stop. But let's see what he says. Even though I can't understand because I'm going to look at the subtitles and listen to what he says.
Coolest opening themes in the entire franchise. No debate there.
Wait, he said opening theme songs or opening themes? If he's talking about opening theme, what happened? Cool. Theme song? Oh no. Mm-mm. No. No, that was Disney doing that.
Power Rangers Wild Force follows 5 young individuals chosen to protect Earth using the powers of the Animal Guardians, nature bound spirits connected to the natural world. Their base of operations is Animarium Island, which floats high in the sky. They face off against the Orgs, evil creatures that have resurfaced to bring destruction. Led by Cole Evans, the Rangers learn how to work as a team, respect nature, and balance their personal lives with the responsibility of saving the planet. The thing is, this season includes the Deer Wild Zord, the Gorilla Wild Zord, and the Alligator Wild Zord. All 3 of them are green, yet none of them belong to a Green Ranger simply because there is no Green Ranger in this season. The Gorilla Wild Zord represents nature's raw strength taking center stage when balance collapses. It emerges to replace the Red Lion, which becomes incapacitated due to an overload of power, and goes on to form the physical core of the Conga Zord. Its design, optical attacks, and even its exclusive musical theme reinforce its dominant and symbolic presence. The Alligator Wild Zord is born shrouded in darkness, initially serving Zen Aku as a Zord of pure aggression. Larger and more powerful than the others, it easily overwhelms its enemies and forms the imposing Predazord. Its liberation from evil marks the transition of green from a corrupted force into restored energy. The Deer Wild Zord symbolizes nature wounded by abandonment. Left behind on Earth after the war, it awakens centuries later carrying resentment and loneliness. Its reconciliation with Merrick and Shayla transforms bitterness into healing, reinforcing green as the color of regeneration, even without a ranger to represent it. The Deer Wild Zord would be the ideal choice for a potential Green Ranger, as it represents balance, healing, and a spiritual connection to nature. Rather than brute force,
Okay, so he didn't go for the Conga Zord, which I would figure he would. No, he goes for the Deer Zord, which is like, yeah, I will admit, I will at least admit, even though it's like, but I'll at least admit being like, you got a good point. But then that means one of the Rangers get booted from the freaking Megazord, though. I don't understand that. No one's gonna win here. He's gonna get booted from the Megazord. So it's like, dude. But it would have been cool where it's like, yeah, there's one guy or a girl who's a loner, and they were able to just bond. Maybe she did exactly what Merrick did. She actually has a flute, or he has a flute, and he plays it, or she plays it. They play it, and then they grew to bond with the freaking deer, and the deer decided to give them more for it. Now there you go, you got your Green Ranger. That wouldn't be bad. That wouldn't be bad at all. But it's like didn't have to make the Green Ranger. This is not like Lightspeed Rescue where they could have easily made a Ranger and he knew how to make a design. The design will match. This one was in the way of transitioning from going to Saban's to going to Disney. And the good news is that they shot a good slam dunk with what's going on with Wild Force. I mean, sorry, Jungle Fury. Those Spirit Ranger suits were good. But look what they did with A Squad of SPD. You want the early days of them of Disney having their fists and their stuff and everything in Power Rangers to be deciding. Hmm. How should the Green Ranger look like? The same ones that actually screwed up a suit that they already should know. Well, you know, by looking at archives and stuff, and they screwed over the Green Ranger Mighty Morphin Power Ranger suit. So they made two variants that day. You want them to try to make a deer suit for Wild Force? I kind of don't want to give them that. I kind of wouldn't want to give them that. I know there's a fourth wall, but seriously, no, I wouldn't give them that. It's like, what exactly would it look like? Maybe antlers, I guess. You'll give them antlers. It might have like, it might just resemble kind of like what they did with the White Ranger, that it has some purple a little bit on it with some green, and it could even be kind of like the Lunar Wolf a little bit. But it's like, do we really want to make it an extra ranger as in a special ranger, or is it just like all the other rangers, but you get to have the ability to be a part of it? It's like, the Lunar Wolf. It's like, yeah, the Lunar Wolf Ranger is very special. So if we're gonna try to make a special ranger, that means that it might need a new morpher too. So new morpher that Disney has to make. Uh-oh. Oh wait, yeah, Lightspeed Rescue. Sorry. I'm just they didn't even make one for SPD A Squad, did they? We didn't see a morpher for A Squad, did we? I think it's the same as B Squad, but it's like, yeah, but that's not imaginative, is it? Anyways, for it's like, will they make a deer one for them, and will they make a staff for deer staff for them, or will it be a bow? It's like, yeah, it's like they don't have a bow. It would be a good idea to make it a bow instead, or maybe it's a two-in-one, just like Merrick's, which makes sense. It could become a sword and it can become a bow. That will be cool. That wouldn't be bad. So I will admit he might have a good idea about the deer ranger, but why would we actually depend on Disney to come up with good ideas? It's like it was in Disney's clutches. It might have been done, yes, but Disney was the one that said, "We don't like the song you choose. Make a new theme." And that's why we got the theme today. The previous theme, if you look at the end of Time Force, that's the original theme they wanted to go with. And I would have liked to have heard it. Instead, it's like we only got a tidbit, and then they threw it in the trash thanks to Disney. And then now we got this new version, which I think it totally sucks. It's like it has some good merit, but I still want to hear the original one, which we'll never get to. I'm going to let it continue now.
Force, it symbolizes maturity and wisdom, qualities that would define a Green Ranger as a guardian of harmony, not just a warrior. I imagined what this Green Ranger might look like with the help of artificial intelligence, and this was the result. I really
Oh,
liked
hell
the
no.
shade of green on the suit because I think it blends
No,
extremely well with the rest of the team.
no. No, supreme no. But if you notice, the Pink Rangers has some access of pink in it. So I'll be like, yeah, some access of purple. I just basically was going like, let's just do what Merrick did. Just take what Merrick did, put some purple on the side. The horns could have been better. I mean, look what's the Bison. The Bison doesn't have small horns. The Bison, the Black Ranger, he has some decent horns on his head. That's Oh my gosh, that's ugly. It is ugly. Not to mention the visor. It's like, yeah, this, no. You thought this was good. This is a total no. And you didn't even let the buckle look exactly like theirs. So, dude, no. Dude, no.
Power Rangers Dino Thunder is a season that brings together two classic pillars of the franchise, dinosaur nostalgia.
Did I do it here? No, no, it was way back when, right? Yeah, I don't think I did it here. Where it's like I was rooting for them to do one thing, which is give us an extra ranger, but it would have been green. No, no, no. It would have been like magenta. It would have been the one for Stegosaurus. That's what I was hoping for. But I think he's gonna go for the Pocky. Was it the Pachysaurus? I think the Pachysaurus was green. Good lord. No.
And the return of Tommy Oliver, now in a more mature role as both mentor and Black Ranger. The series builds its identity by balancing science, genetics, and ancient forces awakened through the manipulation of prehistoric DNA. Even so, despite a colorful team and the strong presence of Rangers like the White and Black, the absence of a Green Ranger is noticeable. Within the narrative, the introduction of a Green Ranger could be tied to a flaw or an unintended side effect of the Dino Gems themselves, while the known gems grant powers linked.
I forgot to mention the whole thing of the Phantom Ranger. I was leaning towards the Phantom Ranger as well because I apparently misunderstood what they were trying to tell me on the box, the toy box. Because the toy box, I thought it was saying that they have a transformable Phantom Ranger, and also you can build the Phantom Ranger. And I was like, so there's going to be a Phantom Ranger in the TV show? Oh man, that's going to be cool. And I believe they could have done it because, well, if you know, Trent, well, they would have used the original storyline from Abba Ranger. And if they would have used that and they found that the White Ranger's Dino Gem is fully charged, is going to be a time bomb, then they would have tried to siphon the energy from the White Dino Gem into a shattered Silver Gem. Because they were like, yeah, we can get enough energy, we can actually try to put it into that gem, and that gem could actually contain the energy. But sadly, no, they were trying to do it. Sadly, Trent would have been just like how Tommy was, kind of. And that last moment, it turns out it's about to explode, and his Zord takes the Dino Gem, he takes the Morpher and Dino Gem, flies off in the sunset, and exploded. So Trent is without his powers and he's without his Zord. There you go. Versus them actually crying about the fact of this would have been the first time. This is the first one that Disney had to deal with a death in the Ranger family, a Ranger death. Because the White Ranger died, Abba Killer and Abba Ranger died, exploded with his Zord. So that's why you see the freaking TV show was cut from 50 to 38 or less, even less than that episodes, because they didn't know what the freak they're gonna do because the White Rangers don't exist no more and the Zord don't exist no more. How are we gonna explain them being gone? Congratulations, guys. Somehow I figured it out for you, but it's too little too late. I don't think they have money to even make a new suit. Even though it's like, well, Bandai America already gave you ideas of the Phantom Ranger. You might as well do it. The only messed up part is I don't forget Tommy's Dino Gym actually let him camouflage. So what would a Phantom Rangers do? We don't get to see that, I guess. He's like, yeah, because it's like we don't get to see that. We'll just see the new Ranger while they're actually having issues because there's only four of them. A Silver Ranger shows up and they're like, who the heck is that? It's like, hey guys, I dumped white and now I'm silver. Trent? And then they actually do the final blast of using all their Dino Gem powers to destroy Mesogog. Yeah, it would have been a like a crazy one where it's like they're feeling the issues without Trent. They wish they could actually have Trent, but secretly, I forgot her name, is working on a new morpher because it turned out the Dino Gem worked. But they have to work on a new morpher, and it's going to take a lot of time. So, anyways,
To specific dinosaurs, a green dino gem could represent a more primitive and instinctive aspect of life on Earth, predating even the dinosaurs. This power wouldn't emerge as part of a careful plan, but rather as a natural response to the imbalance caused by constant battles and the excessive use of the gems. The ideal character to take on this role would be Anton Mercer. Unlike conventional villains, Mercer is a tragic antagonist, torn between his human conscience and the corrupting influence of Mesogog. At the end of the season, when Anton Mercer is finally separated from Mesogog, the green Dino Gem would react, offering him a chance at redemption for the guilt he still carries. By accepting this power, he would fight Mesogog directly, becoming a Green Ranger
Sorry for that. So he wanted Antoine Mercer to be the Green Ranger. You're asking for too much, dude. I'm asking for way less. He wants freaking Antoine Mercer to become the Green Ranger and they go in the final battle and it's like, no, Supreme, no. No, 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 no. I'm asking for something less than that at least. Because they have the helmet for the Phantom Ranger. Which hold on, let me do it for you. There you go. See, look at that right there, but I don't think I'm able to actually do it. Mm, where is? Well, that's the best one right here, and I can't see it. uh, go back up. Yeah, go back up.
While the known gems grant powers linked to specific dinosaurs, a green dino gem could represent a more primitive and instinctive aspect of life on Earth, predating even the dinosaurs. This power wouldn't emerge as part of a careful plan, but rather as a natural response to the imbalance caused by constant battles and the excessive use of the gems. The ideal character to take on this role would be Anton Mercer. Unlike conventional villains, Mercer is a tragic antagonist, torn between his human conscience and the corrupting influence of Mesogog. At the end of the season, when Anton Mercer is finally separated from Mesogog, the green dino gem would react, offering him a chance at redemption for the guilt he still carries. By accepting this power, he would fight Mesogog directly, becoming a Green Ranger defined by inner conflict and sacrifice. This Green Ranger would have a more organic and aggressive visual design,
Sorry, folks, for that brief intermission. Let me go back over here. And I also gotta say sorry because I forgot. Okay, it's been long. It's been a long while since I watched Wild Force. I mean, Dino Thunder. It was the Parasaurolophus that was green. My bad. It's like my bad. At least I knew it was auxiliary sword, which of course it is. So again, I'll say this: I wasn't asking for too much, and as you can see in this photo, he decided to say, "Screw you, Trent. You don't get to be a part of this." It's like, the heck? like, like what? Like seriously, what? Yeah. So he lost his father to carry the team, and it's like, yeah, but they need all six for the final battle, allegedly. But I'm just saying the fact of first, like again, what I wanted them to do is still adapt from Alpha Ranger because, again, I know that many people in the Power Ranger community say that you don't need 50 episodes, and I'm like, yeah, but this is the first time Disney had to deal with a Power Ranger death, and they actually dealt with it horribly, very horribly. They did it better with Ninja Storm because apparently Fury Kinger, yeah, he is a little bit. He has issues. That guy has issues, and he nailed them. Did good. But when it comes to Abba Ranger, when it comes to Abba Killer, the White Ranger, Trent was supposed to die. Trent was supposed to die. Supposed to die. And what they did was like, oh no, what are we gonna do? Oh, it's very simple. We're going to sew up everything. We're just going to end it quickly, so no one asks any questions. Yeah, because again, like I said, the White Ranger, Morpher, himself, and the Zord all blew up. So the White Ranger won't be in any more episodes ever again. And I'm like, well, that's easy. I told you it's easy to figure it out. You just got to make sure you have one Ranger to be there for you. That's it. You get that one Ranger who, well, I meant to say this. You will just have him in waiting, just like Tommy was waiting to become the White Ranger. This time, it's basically just what happened with Tommy, isn't it? The fact of where it's like he was evil, but he was now good, but sadly his powers are getting drained, and now he basically is not a ranger no more, to the point where he became a ranger again, and he got powers, and there he goes, he's a shining light. Same with Trent. He would have been the Phantom Ranger. I know it'll be total opposite, but it's like he was white and he was evil. Now he's silver and is shinier than white. There you go. But yeah, it's like, does that even look like a Parasaurolophus to me? To you? Hold on one second. They marveled after the Tommy Oliver, which I guess why not? But however, does that look like a Parasaurolophus to you? I mean, it seems to me what they could have done. This guy, what he could have done, which he looks a bit more chubby. He has more bit of a bulge on him. But what he should have done was just go to Dino Charge, get the Black Ranger's helmet, turn it green. Everyone to just get a photo of the Black Ranger of Dino Thunder. Put that, Photoshop his head there, then turn it green. And you got the freaking. There you go. It'll look better than this. Let's continue on. I delayed too much.
With armor featuring irregular lines, scale like details, and darker shades of green, almost feral in appearance. His combat style would be brutal yet controlled, reflecting the constant struggle between instinct and reason. His Zord could be inspired by a hybrid prehistoric creature, perhaps an uncatalogued dinosaur or an ancestral form of reptilian life itself, symbolizing.
But that's what he's doing. Well, technically, The freaking Phantom Ranger, which actually is official, technically by Bandai America, he was not inspired by any dinosaur at all either in the TV show. So yeah,
Interrupted evolution and renewal. The inclusion of this Green Ranger would deepen Dino Thunder's core themes, reinforcing the idea that power without balance creates monsters, but that even the most corrupted individuals can find redemption. In a season centered on legacy, science, and choice, green would represent the thin line between creation and destruction, symbolically completing the Dino Thunder Ranger spectrum. Power Rangers Operation Overdrive stands.
is he really bringing Operation Overdrive into this? Is he really doing this? I'm like, dude, the last one I would choose to bring an extra Ranger in is Operation Overdrive. Why do we need a one more person for the sword guy, aka Sentinel Knight, to say, you're not worthy to be a Power Ranger? That's why I replaced you. Dude, dude.
Stands out for offering a different kind of premise within the franchise. Instead of mystical prophecies or spiritual animals, the season dives into the world of exploration.
Oh, don't forget, don't forget, don't forget, don't forget. We have to make an extra Zord for him, which, did they have a green Zord? Not, and don't forget the aura, the Corner Roy, or whatever that stupid jewel is. They will have to now make a sixth jewel for him as well. And it's like, oh my gosh, no. Yeah, they got this guy. Oh man. Oh, you gave him that, the mixer? That's it. No, man, no. The mixer submit driver Zord. Oh, dude, no. Dude, no. No, 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 no. That's a jerk move. That's a jerk move doing that. Dude, no. Dude, no. Should have picked a different color. Dude, no.
Archaeology, and a global race for legendary relics scattered across the planet. Overdrive builds its narrative around ancient maps, powerful artifacts, and rival organizations such as Moltor and Flurious. Even so, despite featuring a relatively large team and the later introduction of the Mercury Ranger, the season curiously does not include a Green Ranger, a color traditionally associated with nature, balance, and renewal within the franchise. The absence of a Green Ranger in Operation Overdrive is especially noticeable because the season's theme directly connects to environmental exploration, ancient ruins, and long-forgotten forces of the Earth. From a narrative standpoint, it would be extremely plausible for an ancient power, tied to the planet's own energy, to awaken as a response to the excessive use of the Corona Aurora relics. This Green Ranger would emerge not as part of Hartford Industries' original plan, but as an unforeseen consequence of human interference with ancestral forces. Within the cast, the ideal character to take on this role would be Spencer, the Hartford Mansion's butler. At first glance, he appears to be little more than
You gotta be kidding me, dude. He chooses the butler to be the sixth rank. No, no, freaking dude, you're out of your mind. You're out of your mind. I don't even remember the freaking TV show, but you're out of your mind. You're out of your mind. Really out of your mind. Freaking dude, dude. This is stupid. This is stupid. This is the reason why I'm doing this. It's like, this is stupid. No, you don't need to have a sixth ranger. And you picked the freaking damn butler. Dude, at least be like, oh, well, we're going to pick someone. Maybe we're going to pick, like, you can pick someone. I don't know. I would just say that maybe we have someone else who decides to be like, I'm going to be a jerk. So he made his own Rangers. I'm going to make my own Ranger, and I got a hacker dude, and the hacker dude just went into a system, and now I got the blueprints to make my own morpher. So I'm going to make my own Ranger, and I pick a vegan. No, I pick a freaking activist. An activist who is out of their mind, but it turns out that they could actually be good. But still, though, the thing is that his. I mean, if we're going by an evil, another billionaire or millionaire doing this, then that means that he'll have a no, his own Zord too, right? But do they clash? It's like I think there's two red Zords in Operation Overdrive, right? Yeah, there's like a few red Zords in there. So I guess you could double dip and put green. So let's see what we got. We got the fire engine and we got the red ranger. And didn't he have like a ship um a plane too? It's like I'm pretty sure there was a plane as well. So thanks, dude. Get out of the way. Dude, get out of the way. I need to see this. I need to see what is there. Get out of the way, stupid moron. So we got the dump driver, we got the Sonic Striker, which is the plane, and then we got the fleet battle fleet 14. So you see right here where it's like, whoa, that's too much. It's like, yeah, hold on. Oh, wait. The cement one. So wait, what's the striker? Hold on one second. Wait, hold on. There we go. So yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah, but we also have a blue one too, as you can see there. So I guess you could double dip and have a green one. Another green one. Yeah. And who has it? The Black Ranger? Black Ranger, right? No, Blue Ranger. Blue Ranger. And then you're saying the Black Ranger had this one? Wait. Who had this one then? Who had the crane? He's like Black Ranger. What? 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 Like, yeah. Since I don't really care too much for Operation Overdrive, I'm gonna start digging on this because no. But as for your idea of being like the butler, I'm like, no, you just get someone else, man. It's like I don't know who could it be a Blue Ranger variant or Green Ranger variant, because I think the Black Ranger, I forgot. I think someone was an actor and the other one was something else. It's like I forgot. It's been so long, and I do not want to watch this season ever again. So all I gotta tell you is just no. Why did you pick the butler? That's a stupid idea. No. What you should have picked is just something else. Someone else. Could even be like he stole the idea, but of course, no. You're doing this pipe dream, but the ones that we talked about before happened. So it's not hard for them to do something, even though for Megaforce they could never actually do that Ranger because it would never fit. Now, only thing that will happen is like maybe he has a dream sequence. That might be the only thing you could do is a dream sequence. But even then, it's like, nah. The only way to do anything is the fact of being like, oh, Gosei just screwed over the Green Ranger, and that's why there's no Green Ranger powers because, oops, I sent him on a mission. I thought only one was enough. It's either that or you can get the funny part of where it's like Gosei did a secret mission. He sent the Blue Ranger and Green Ranger to do something, and the Blue Ranger lost the Green Ranger's Mega Force key, Ranger key, and because of that, that's why you don't have the Green Ranger key because it's in the water. It's gone. It's gone. He came back. He gave him this freaking morpher. He says he quit. He's out of here. I think it'll be kind of cool where it's like, and that person became Ninja. What? That would be kind of cool. Like I wouldn't do it, but I'm just saying that's just something funny. Anyways, no. Next.
And a loyal and comedic supporting character. But throughout the series, it becomes clear that Spencer has a mysterious past, surprising combat skills, and extensive historical knowledge. A story arc revealing Spencer as a former member of a secret order of Earth's Guardians would fit perfectly with the season's tone. It's even established that before becoming a butler, he served in the British Royal Navy. He wouldn't be a ranger created by modern technology, but rather someone chosen by an ancient green artifact connected to natural forces that predate even the Corona Aurora relics themselves. You might find it unusual for an older character to become a ranger, but we've seen this happen before in Power Rangers Dino Charge, for example, with Albert Smith. This Green Ranger would
Dude, you for someone who actually watched Super Sentai, you are completely dunce in the head. And if you watch Power Rangers, you understand what's going on here. Power Rangers make sure that they don't pick grown-ups to be Rangers. We were lucky for them to pick Albert. We were lucky for them because if you notice, what really should have happened was that freaking Ivan should have been an older man. Hoda should have been actually a 30-year-old dude. Just saying. I think technically even Aqua Ranger, she actually was a mom. Yeah, and she's actually the sister of the Blue Ranger. I'm just telling you that. What you think? And the sad part is like, dude, I would have loved it if you would allow the original Blue Ranger, the one that was in freaking K. Ruger, be a part of Power Rangers Dino Charge. He's a Canadian actor, dude, if I remember correctly. Yeah, so they actually went abroad on that one, and I think that was freaking cool. Would have been cool for you to actually have done the same and be like, "Oh, look at that cool connection. He could talk about K. Ruger. He could talk about Dino Charge, man. Yeah, buddy." Nope, they picked Taylor's freaking father, which supposed to have been an older man as well. Notice that Power Rangers has a freaking issue when it comes to old people. And you're telling Disney supposed to have broke that crap? Nah, that's not gonna happen. So you can take this and you can just flush it down the toilet. As for this design here, that's what the heck? You just ditched what happened in freaking Operation Overdrive because you know how it is. It's like if you're talking about, oh, I just took inspiration from, Happy and Mighty Morphin when the Right Ranger was different from the red and the blue and the green, the red and the blue and the black and the yellow and the pink. It's like, yeah, it's because he was from a different season. He was from a different season, man. So for you to do this, it's like, mm. And when they had the chance of making their own Ranger, they made Titanium Ranger fit. He fit. This guy, maybe he can fit, but sadly, I'll have to tell you again, no. You're like, yes, but he's of the Earth. He's the Earth's Ranger. You're telling me that you want them to not only make a new suit, but they have to make a new suit that is very, very brand new. Did you see what they did in SPD? That's all I gotta say. Did you see what they did in SPD for A Squad? They had to make new suits. And what did they do? Yeah, think about that. Think about that. You're going way too far on this one, man. You need to think simple. You need to make the design just like Operation Overdrive with maybe a little bit of difference. Then we could say, okay, maybe. But even then, I'm like, yeah. But of course, he's using AI, and AI is kind of stupid. So don't blame him 100%, but I would say you should have actually just rinsed and repeat until it looked good. It looked just like as if it came from Operation Overdrive. Because this guy, it doesn't seem like it came from Operation Overdrive. No, I don't know where this came from. This makes me think that maybe Japan should have actually tried Super Sentai one more time, but put it in the AI system and it makes its brand new suits. Which I'm like, I wish it would try for 5 seasons to see how that plays out. They put all their suits that they ever created in the AI system, and the AI system will make suits for them. That would be kind of cool. Make suits, make Zords, make weapons. That would be interesting. I would love to see how that would have played out. That would be cool. So thank you for this. But however, no.
Would have a more experienced, strategic, and calm profile, contrasting with the impulsivity of the main team.
This does remind me of the Blue Centurion, though. This does remind me, and it's like, yeah, the Blue Centurion looked kind of different from, Turbo, but still he did fit. This guy right here, that guy does not fit. Oh, he does not fit whatsoever. But at least the buckle kind of actually matches, but he does not fit there at all. So all I can tell you is that, dude, you need to go back to the drawing board on this one.
His suit could blend technology.
But I would say the visor might be kind of nice. The visor looks kind of nice, but look at everyone's visor. They look pretty similar to each other. Dude,
Logical elements with tribal symbols and organic lines, reinforcing the idea of ancient power coexisting with modernity. His Zord could be inspired by a legendary land based creature, such as a stone golem or a colossal plant based being, representing the Earth itself reacting to global threats. In this way, the introduction of a Green Ranger in Operation Overdrive would not only fill a symbolic gap within the franchise, but also deepen the season's central theme, the fine line between exploring the world and respecting the forces that lie dormant beneath it. Power Rangers in Space marks one of the most important turning points.
now he's going for Power Rangers. He's going for in space. Well, you know that they wanted to do Astronema, and Astronema would have been the Purple Ranger. Well, actually, no, Corone would have been the Purple Ranger for Power Rangers in Space. But, well, if they didn't have time to shove a purple suit into in space, why would you think that? Oh, I think I can put the Green Ranger in this. Seriously, seriously. Not even if you would be like, oh, we're gonna put the Green Ranger in it, and we made it Adam. Even if you give me that, I still have to say no can do. So let me see what you got. Most likely it's nothing, but let me see what you got.
Points in the franchise by taking the narrative to a truly epic scale, expanding the conflict beyond Earth and bringing closure to the storyline that began in Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
Another morning to savor the crunchy nooks and
You suck.
Is a more mature tone, focusing on sacrifice, leadership, and redemption as the Rangers face the empire of Dark Spectre. Even with a well-defined team and the occasional return of classic colors, the absence of a Green Ranger is noticeable, especially considering the symbolic weight that the color green carries within the franchise. From a narrative perspective, the introduction of a Green Ranger in
Why did you replace the Red Ranger's freaking? You might as well just make it all green. I don't know. I don't know. It's like I think they would have just kept it red anyways. I think that's how it would have been. They would have just kept it red anyways. So I don't know what you're doing here, man. I don't know.
space could be tied to cosmic energies that remain unexplored by the space morphers. While the existing powers are derived from advanced space technology, green could represent a far older and more
I see what he's talking about though. It's like yes, it's like he's inspired by technology of advanced technology. And it's like maybe, maybe.
organic force of the universe, something beyond science itself. This power could awaken as a reaction to the chaos created by intergalactic warfare, acting as a natural counterbalance to the
But note, there is a Psycho Green though. There is a Psycho Green, so maybe that's the reason why he wants the Green Ranger so badly because there's a Psycho Green. Yeah, but we'll never see him ever in live action though.
mechanized villain empires that dominate the star systems. The ideal character to take on this mantle would be Darkonda. Unlike other antagonists, Darkonda was always shrouded in mystery, operating opportunistically and showing no true loyalty to Dark Spectre, to the point that he even attempted to eliminate Dark Spectre using a velocifier
You want Dark Honda to be the Green Ranger? Dude, Dark Honda is not Zurem from Tokuger. He is not that. So I don't know what you got in your mind, but I'm glad you're not a Power Ranger, right? Because if you were, Kylie Dalgent would love you, I guess. But the thing is that you would be so messed up in the freaking fandom that you will be booed. I remember like one or two people got like death threats. Pretty sure you might have got death threats. It's like because it's like, dude, your choices are horrendous. Would I make a green? No, I would not make anyone a Green Ranger. Okay, we got enough. We got six Rangers. That's enough. We don't need any more Rangers. That's enough. I will say that I still believe that Billy was in Aquatar. Aquatarians could have actually reinstalled his ninja powers, and he could have been the Blue Ninjetti Ranger. Just saying. I know David Yost would not be able to come back because the bridges were burned, but you could still get that ninja suit and he could still fight alongside the Aquatar Rangers. There you go. When you got Justin, you got Blake coming back. You could have got some sound bites from Blake so that in the final freaking episode, you could have the blue Turbo Ranger fighting alongside the blue Centaurian and also the Phantom Ranger, technically. That's why I'm just gonna say technically. I don't know about freaking Adam. Adam would basically be screwed. But I would. It just gets very messed up. Where it's like this is supposed to be the end of the whole entire series, but yet you guys couldn't bring back everyone. Yes, later on they brought back Austin St. John and Walter Jones to do the pilot episode we never saw of Power Rangers. But however, it's like you can bring all of them back. I know you burned a bridge, and apparently, I guess those two out of three, which was Queen dead at that point? I don't think Tween was dead. No, it was like at least maybe a year or less for her to not be around, I think. So I wish you brought everyone back, and they all went up to the freaking thing, found Zordon, and they all went together and clapped themselves as if they were actually doing the power blaster. And since they have residual morphing grid energy, they all were able to help Jason to get the power sword back. And he did the sacrificial wave strike instead of Andros. There you go. That would have been so beautiful. While Andros is fighting downstairs with everyone else. It's like, yeah, because like he was upstairs while everyone else was freaking having issues. It was going bad. The only thing that had to do was sacrifice Zordon. And yeah, I mean, even Tom, David, Jason David Frank was like, yeah. I think even also St. John, they were both like, yeah, Andros should not have been the one who actually sacrificed Zordon. It would have been more memorable if, you know, just saying. But yeah, Dark Donda being Green Ranger. Oh boy. Oh boy. Never worked right for Power Rangers, dude.
Missile. A redemption arc could reveal that Darkonda belongs to an ancient race of cosmic guardians, beings tasked with maintaining the balance between life and destruction across the universe. Betrayed or corrupted over centuries, Darkonda could rediscover his true essence upon coming into contact with this primordial green energy, breaking away from his villainous past. As a Green Ranger, he would become a quiet anti-hero defined by guilt and distrust, initially reluctant to work alongside the Rangers. His suit would feature more organic lines with luminous.
Um, he knows that Darkonda was the one who stole Corone from Andros, right? And her family, right? He knows that he was the one who did it, right? 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 He knows, right?
Details resembling living constellations, setting him apart from the more technological aesthetic of the core team. His Zord could be a living cosmic creature, perhaps a star dragon or a spaceborne plant entity, symbolizing life persisting even within the emptiness of space. The presence of this Green Ranger would enrich in space by adding a philosophical layer to the conflict, reinforcing the idea that not all power is born from technology or war. In a season about endings, new beginnings, and liberation, green would represent hope, regeneration, and universal balance, further amplifying the emotional impact of one of the most iconic sagas in Power Rangers history.
You know, I've always found it strange. People really want.
Dude, all I can tell you is that I hope it was AI. I really do hope it was AI because if that was an AI and that was actually you doing this, no, man, no. Mm-mm. I would love to see the comments. Yeah, Adam would have been a faster. Yeah, I said that too. I would think that would have been a smart idea. Hidden in was hidden underneath the cafe. Oh, so it's that one. Oh, yeah, I know what happened. That was like the introduction to SPD, right? Yeah, that was most likely a fake one. Yep, from China. Yep, yep, correct. Orange Beast Morpher and an orange is an eagle. Oh, that's cool. Yep, Parazord. That's what I thought. No, that would have not made. No, no, no. Yep, that's true. Cool. Mm. So, is it true that they don't adapt anything from the Super Sentai movies? Dude, you know the team up parts are the freaking movies, correct? Mm. And not only that, but there was a red gorilla, right, in Wild Force that came from a movie too, dude. So you need to slow your roll because they did do things from movies. Well, I call them TV specials because they're not really movies. But yeah, they did do them. The thing is that the team up that happened for Mighty Morphin, Aquatar, and also Die Ranger, that was called Super Sentai Planet. And there's no way how you could actually have done that one. He just could have been the Green Ranger. Oh yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, his father, a teacher, what do they know? But he still has his turbo powers, dude. But there is a green Zord. Yep. Lays could have been. Yep, that's what I said. Yep, that's what I said. Purple, no, the Black Ranger, dude. Who doesn't love good old reliable Spectre? Yep, exactly. But she wouldn't work. Okay, only one green was never used, and that one is it wasn't in the miniseries, only in a movie. Yeah, but they could have done it, and like I showed in episode 15 of Super Ninja Steel, they had kind of a little thing that could have happened. Unfortunately, the capable of taking serious to be taken serious because of the antlers. Yeah, yeah, right. Yeah, this is yep. What kind of Green Ranger Rovers is that? Yep, exactly. Did he say something about it? Yep. A change in its space is not Darkanda, but Ecliptor as Green Ranger. Being a father figure astronomer, raising Dark Spectre, showing confusion, what's right, what's wrong. Maybe. Maybe, but not really. Alien Green Ranger. Oh, you mean for Aquatar? Nah. Wait, there was a Green in Space Ranger? No, 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 no. But there. Yep, that's what I heard. Oh yeah, the elephant. Yeah, the elephant one was too. That would have worked out. Now that would have worked out. See, I said that in. the antler would have booted someone to the curb, right? So it's like, yeah. And a maze? No, 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 no. But yeah, the elephant will work perfectly because it will be an accessory. That's good. That's good. That one was good. That was perfect. You rock. That was good. The elephant and jungle fairy was a spirit ranger in that one. Yep. Okay. Eclipse. Yep. Corona Roll located Infinity Stones. Maybe. RPM was my favorite, but I also enjoy Super Mega Force. That sucks for you, dude. Let's say record straight is Kira reborn. Yeah, exactly. Or at least it's a personal screen. Pick up on a surfboard. Yeah, that's supposed to be the Galaxy Glider, but different. Kind of like did the Silver Ranger didn't get a Galaxy Glider. He got a motorcycle. So that's what he did. He decided to change it. We did saw the green or we did whatever. Was this one and Dino Charge? I think they didn't need a Green Ranger. They simply needed a Yellow Ranger. Not really. They were using yellow on the Rangers. That's the reason why they didn't do yellow. I think Dino Thunder Green Ranger would have been a good idea, making it a separate. I don't think it would have been a great idea because we're asking too much. Hey, I'm from Brazil. Like your video gave me an idea. This one is like which would be a ranger certain color never existed. However, what would Pink Ranger and Dino Thunder look like? They already gave you that. What would a Yellow Ranger and Dino look like? No idea. What would a Ranger example the next video? Good for you, I guess. I think they should have added a Pink Ranger and Dino Thunder. No. Don't know. No. 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 They have one. Sadly, do not look it up. Just do not look it up. Do not look it up. Oh, look at that. He made it to freaking Mega Force. Good on him. I don't know if I want to check it out. Eh, and I think I should look at what he's doing and just react like I'm doing right now. But it's going to be a glorified mess. As you can see, this is taking longer. Dino Thunder team. Yeah, hey, Harley. That was her name. Harley. That was her name. Yeah, I would have chose her as the Stegosaurus Ranger. Yep. Not the stupid one that I told him not to look up, which I'm making sure no one looks it up. I'm not going to tell you. Don't look it up. Don't do it. I think the Japanese video should have added a pink color to the script instead of leaving red. Nah. Be happy that you got the other ranger that Enter turned into. Be happy. Hasn't it been sued for stealing their own show scene? No, had a deal. Yeah, they had a deal. For all we think it's a good idea. The problem is that it's easy to create a range. It's not easy to make a giant robot. It's an expensive part that you consider it things that are reuse and repurpose. Light speed rescue, use titanium robot, yeah, autonomous, yep, and it's cockpit, yep. Yeah, like yeah, you have a good yeah, you see, you're thinking with your head. You're thinking with your head. I was assisted to keep the hijinks out of Power Rangers, there's truckload of things, and he kept wacky suits, wonderful they the bonds. But fine. It's true. It's true. Look it up. It was after Ninja Steel. They were gonna do Q Ranger. Look it up. It's true. Okay, so let's see a lot of chill stuff like from Turbo, and I don't think it care. Just lost those. This actually hurt my head. I was just a ton of reasons that made my head hurt. Exactly. I think that would have been cool too. That would have been cool to have her be the Green Ranger as well. It would have been cool, but again, she would most likely put herself in peril. She was the one that was protected the most. Let's see. So Ninja Steel Beast Morphers are not. We're not supposed to have a Green Ranger, but Super Mega Force, yes. Yeah, 50-50. It'll be kind of funny that it's like, why is everything noticeable, right? I agree with Darker. You're better off than just your own. G plus close being before galaxy. Power Rangers never had the rights to most Super Sentai movies. That's why one-off characters would never make it. I'm just gonna leave. I already said that the freaking Bang team up movies, the versus movies, were done, which means that Ah, dude, get out of here. Just go. I think I have to go too.